Alright, good morning everybody. It's your boy Akeem. Welcome to today's third blog. Here to give you another scout report on a player headed towards the 2015 NFL Draft. And for this blog, I'm here to talk about one of my Texas Longhorns, Cedric Reed, the defensive end. And I must admit, entering this year's draft, I've been a little bit disappointed in his performance this season, and I'm going to have to be honest with you guys with my grading. Now, let's talk a little bit about him. He's actually from the state of Texas and decided to stay in-state to play for my Longhorns. And he broke out in 2013, where he was first team All Big 12 honors with 79 tackles, 16 and a half tackles for loss, and 10 sacks. Definitely caught my attention, and he was definitely on my watch list for all the major college football awards at the end of the seasons for the defensive player. This was one of the guys I definitely had high hopes on for my Longhorns to even sprout out on the defensive side. And let's talk about his strengths and weaknesses. First, his strengths. He definitely shows that he has a couple of moves to get to the quarterback as a pass rusher, and that's just something I do like about him. Another thing I like is the fact that he has a good size at 6'5", 270 pounds. Great size to play the defensive line. Now, he bench press 225 pounds 22 times, which is not bad. I have to give him a little bit of credit. It's at least average or just a slight bit above average for a defensive end. Seriously, in my opinion. Now, he does have some weaknesses though. Now, during the this past season, his numbers dropped from 10 sacks to just 5.5 sacks and just 9 tackles for loss. The tackles for loss is not too bad, but I wish he was just more of a dominant pass rusher and a great leader on the defensive side to replace Jackson Jeffcoat, who was no longer with the team. But he was definitely outshined by my defensive tackle, Malcolm Brown, the defensive tackle for the Longhorns. And I thought both these two players in that D-line was definitely going to dominate together, but it was more Brown over Reed this past season, and due to many double teams, he definitely struggled in double teams and even just catching up more attention and becoming an overall leader for that defense. Highly disappointed in my personal opinion. Now, a couple other things is his speed. His speed's not really up to par. Had he had a faster speed, his draft status would go up just a little bit more. I think he runs just under a 5 40. Just wish he was just a much faster, at least run a 4.8 or 4.7. I don't remember seeing it in that particular range. One of the biggest things I really didn't see this past season is the excitement and enthusiasm from him. He didn't really show too much excitement. He was more stiff. He seemed kind of boring this past season. I thought he was going to shine, and it's actually making me look back in 2013 where he did have a breakthrough season. And I told you guys he did have Malcolm Brown and Jackson Jeffcoat, who was the co-defensive player of the year of the Big 12 Conference in 2013, and I think that's because of those two players. It definitely gave Reed more one-on-one opportunities to get, and even open opportunities to get to the quarterback and create plays for himself, and he benefit from those two players. That's why I'm a little bit skeptical about. I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but it definitely gives you it definitely raises your eyebrows a little bit because of his performance by himself this past season. He didn't really show too much enthusiasm. He definitely still has a decent positive attitude. He seems like a nice guy, but he doesn't really seem excited. And I just wish if he was just a little bit more excited, possibly he'd become more of an aggressor this past season. Now, where I actually project him entering this year's draft, I see him as a late 6th round selection or a 7th round pick. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if he's not picked at all, but I think he could definitely be a good underrated undrafted player who will sign to a team just like how Jackson Jeffcoat did when he was undrafted, which was a complete shocker for me. So I actually have to grade him as a late 6th round pick or an undrafted free agent. Now, the next time I'm going to catch you guys will be in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to give you guys 2 more scout reports for today. Thank you for watching this blog. I'm your man, Akeem. Be easy.